What a time to be a Spartan. We're getting a key piece from last year's team in quarterback Alessio Milivojevic to next year's roster. Hey, we could be making it rain here pretty soon in East Lansing. And then, how about a top 3 hockey matchup taking place right at Munn? Let's go.
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's episode of Locked On Spartans is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of all the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. Spartan friends, Spartan family, Locked On Spartans listeners, how on earth are we all doing as we head into another very action-packed, robust weekend here in East Lansing? Guys, thanks a lot for making Locked On Spartans your first listen every single day right here on the #1 ranked Locked On Podcast Network. Now, we're going to get to this massive, who knows what the announcement could be. It could be anything Friday at 10 a.m. There's going to be something going on. We'll talk about that at the end of segment 1. In segments 2 and 3, yes, the number 3 Michigan State Icy Spartans, they take on #1 ranked Michigan. Friday, Saturday, we get down to it with the one, the only Jeremy Dewar of Spartans Illustrated. But guys, who needs an offensive coordinator hired? Or really, who even needs a defensive coordinator hired to have some key components of your team coming back to play for Pat Fitzgerald next year? Because we've heard from a few guys already. Brady Pretzloff on the defensive end, for example. Or how about this? Breaking late on Thursday night. That's right. The quarterback, redshirt freshman, that looked pretty damn good. I gotta say, the last month of the season as a starter, Alessio Milivojevic, he said it on Instagram. Run it back, and that he will. Now, this is massive because you need just a competent ball thrower. How about that? And Alessio has shown that he is, at the very least, he's that. Look, let's just zoom into the last month of his season. Yes, he threw for 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the whole year, but I'm more interested in how this last month specifically went as the starter for Michigan State. He was zipping the ball at a 65% completion rate. He had 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Guys, he threw for 300 yards in one game, almost threw for 300 yards in that last game against Maryland. He is a quick processor. He spreads the ball around. And guys, this kid is as tough as nails because he performed, I think, pretty well in the last month of the season. We'll say it again, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 65% completions, despite taking on 14 sacks to end the season for him. This kid was getting mauled, specifically in that first game as a starter against Minnesota, if you remember. 7 sacks in that one, specifically 6 sacks in the first half. And all this kid did was get up, not just go on to the next play, but continue to step into his throws. Despite, I would assume, I can't jump into his brain and read his thoughts, but I would assume having fading trust in his offensive line during the course of the first 2 quarters of his first start in college. But this kid is a gamer. He's every cliche that you could really throw out there. At the worst, and this is something I've said here because we've been talking about what's going to happen with Alessio this offseason, and also just grading him on how he's been the last few weeks. And the common refrain I have is, at the worst, doesn't he look like an average Big Ten quarterback? Like, don't you think that's his floor after what you saw? Okay, just think of how he moved the ball around. Think of how quick he processed things on offense. And he did that in the face of not just getting sacked, it seemed like every third play, but not really having a run game to work with. Okay, like there were a lot of handicaps going on for Alessio Milivojevic, and he still generated not just good numbers, but real chances for Michigan State to win these games. And, well, eventually, thank God, actually did pick up a victory here at the end of the season. So, at worst, I'm seeing a Big Ten quarterback that is just average, but that's his floor. Now, his ceiling, my God, he's only going to be a redshirt sophomore or a sophomore, however you want to classify that, next year, and he's already looks like this. Could they upgrade the offensive line? I hope. Now, it might be a little trickier without Nick Marsh to throw to. Let's not, get confused here. That's a pretty big loss on the offense. But, hey, he's got the big arm. He does have legs-ish. Like, I don't think it's ever going to be a threat to see him scamper down the field 20 yards every single game, but you get my point. The kid's got the legs to at least extend plays a little bit here. So he could be upper tier Big Ten. I mean, do I see him lifting the Heisman Trophy in New York one day? Not necessarily, but guys, I think that we're in great shape here with Alessio Milivojevic announcing his return. And it's a big get because there was actually a second I doubted that this could happen. Right after Jonathan Smith got let go, Alessio's dad, who's a great high school football coach in his own right, I mean, this guy knows the game too. He tweeted out that he 1,000% disagreed with the move to get rid of Jonathan Smith. So, and look, who can blame him? Like, the coach that his kid just committed to just got fired pretty much less than 2 years into his tenure. I can understand why a parent would be upset at that. So I started to ring a little alarm in my head of, are we going to lose him too? Yikes. But hey, guys, he's back. That's mass for Pat Fitzgerald. And that is impressive for Pat Fitzgerald too, because again, we don't have an offensive coordinator back here, but hey, you know what? Alessio sees the vision. I'm glad he does. Now, guys, there is going to be news dropping 10 a.m. on Friday. Now, this is probably the worst kept secret of all time, but it is going to be about a big gift that Michigan State will be getting. Now, there are some things that I do know. I was talking with people that are either just somewhat plugged in, and I talked to a few people that are pretty damn plugged in here to this one. So here's what we do and don't know about what's going to be happening on Friday, what's going to be announced. Now, I don't know who exactly this gift is coming from. I've heard just a single person. I've also heard that it's like a group of 2 or 3 people. But anyway, we also don't know the exact amount. There has been one amount that's been thrown around a lot, but I'm not just going to say it out loud and report it because on the off chance that I'm wrong, well, I'd hate for that to happen. I have no problem being wrong about opinions, but when it comes down to factual stakes like this, I want to be right on it. And, you know, I did kind of press. I threw out that number to some people, and here's what they said. They said they weren't going to give me the exact number. They don't want to spill those beans just yet, but they did say that it is a eye-popping number, is what one person said, and then another said it's a staggering amount. And look, here's what we do know, is that for Sparta, this $1 billion initiative that was announced is going to go through 2032, really the fundraising drive to raise that much money by 2032, right? They counted $250 million from the last 3 years of fundraising, okay? What is going to come in will put Michigan State more than halfway comfortably to that $1 billion mark. So, look, the exact amount, wait and see, but there's going to be a high number being announced, rest assured. Now, here's what we do know as well as, you know, to go along with it being eye-popping, staggering. We do know that, you know what, interestingly enough, and I arched an eyebrow when I heard this, that this isn't going to necessarily be a stadium naming right announcement, that right now at the actual moment, that's not going to be happening. Now, could it happen down the line? Sure, it could, but at least in the here and now, this is going to be a gift given with no naming attached, which I find shocking for a few reasons. The first one being the obvious one. Like, if I donated, oh God, even like $400,000, I would want everything named on the university after me. Or let's say that it is by any chance that $400 million mark that people keep talking about, or anywhere, whether it's 300 million, 350, whatever this dollar amount is going to be, I would want everything named after me. My business named after everything. So you get the point. But interestingly enough, this time around, no. Now, that is, of course, subject to change, right? Because you still got to raise money, even though this great gift is going to help a lot. Like, the world's not going to end in 2-3 years. You're going to have to continually get money, of course, in life. And one way to do that, stadium naming rights. Now, it could be a situation, too, where, hey, maybe just the towers are named after a business, some certain people, whoever the high-figure donors are. But, yeah, I thought that was interesting, so keep your eye on that. Sounds like that no stadium naming rights will be attached to this one. Also, I do know this, is that the renderings that we've all seen of Spartan Stadium, like, this whole project could be starting sooner than maybe we all realize. I know that there's this 2032 kind of, not a deadline, but the goal to raise all this money. It looks like that all these plans are ready to go to the board sooner than later. Now, they still got to go through all the architecture, ins and outs and everything. And everything doesn't always meet a rendering picture, of course, as cool as they look. But still, it's going to look pretty cool, and it's going to be happening, I think, sooner than I thought. I was thinking, oh, great, they're going to break ground in like 2033 or something like that. It could be as soon as like 2028 or 29 by the time they get around to this. Again, you still got a long-ish way to go, but when you see all the renderings of Breslin Center, what are they going to do with Jennison, this, and that? Spartan Stadium thing is like front and center to the front of the line right here. Now, this is what else we do know is that for Sparta, as a whole organization, or I guess a whole initiative, I should say, isn't just going to only buildings, right? Like all this $1 billion, should they raise that amount, isn't just going to be for fixing every building, facilities. No, this could expand to staffing, like support staff, assistant pools, for example. Could anything trickle down to a roster? Perhaps, yeah. So like it isn't just, okay, all this money is just going to be to make our buildings look nice. It's by any means necessary, any way to make the athletic department thrive. So hopefully that's good enough information. We'll gather a lot more information tomorrow after the announcement. And guys, if you want information on this hockey matchup going on this weekend, stick around for segments 2 and 3 with our guy, Jeremy Dewar. But first, you need to talk your ears off about a great holiday gift idea. It is from Aura Frames. The holidays are officially here, which means gift hunting season is on. And if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every time. It's not just something you wrap, it's a way to share memories. Because, well, it's not your average picture frame, guys. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it, so when they plug it in, the memories are already there. No apps to figure it out, no setup headaches, it's just instant smiles. So guys, upload endless amounts of pictures and also 30-second videos. And yes, you can do this through the Aura app or just preload everything before you gift it, guys. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling carver mat frames. Named #1 by Wirecutter. By using promo code COLLEGE at checkout. That's auraframes.com. Promo code COLLEGE. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast. So guys, order yours now and get it on time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. As if enough is not happening already in East Lansing. Hey, we're going to remove a football coach, and then we're going to hire another one 24 hours later. And, oh, yeah, Michigan State basketball, how about an 8-0 start for them? And in the midst of all that, Michigan State athletics, they announced that campus is going to start looking more like Riyadh by 2032. And, oh, my God, you almost forget that there's a top 3 hockey matchup in the biggest rivalry of them all, #1 Michigan against #3 Michigan State, and we have dragged on the one, the only Jeremy Dewar of Spartans Illustrated to bring us up to speed on this great head-to-head matchup going on the ice this weekend. Now, Jeremy's going to have his preview up at Spartans Illustrated in the very near future, but I also did some reading over at thestatenews.com because Audrey Dayton had a great preview for this one, and in that preview, a quote from Adam Nightingale saying, quote, "You don't have to like them. You got to respect them." Jeremy, do we have to do that? Do we have to respect this team? I don't want to do that. That sounds boring.
I mean, I'm not taking a shift, so I don't have to, right?
Okay, good. Okay.
They have to. They have to get on the ice with them and actually have to respect that they're a good team and take them serious, but we don't have to. We're not.
Okay. Good.
I've got 0 shifts planned this weekend for me, so.
Perfect. All right, well, things are looking up right now. Now, if you were to respect this team that's coming in from Ann Arbor on 8:30 at Munn on Big Ten Network. That's right, this isn't Big Ten Network Plus 2.0 where some Portuguese lady is going to be streaming it on a 7-second delay. No, this is going to be great, guys. You actually get to watch this on analog Big Ten Network. Now, unfortunately, this is where the respect might have to come in here. Michigan does lead the nation in goals per game. They're averaging 5.11 goals per game. That leads the nation. Now, Michigan State, their defense, obviously, they're doing okay for themselves. They're letting up just 1.71 goals. That is 3rd in the nation, right behind Dartmouth and Cornell. Why is this Michigan offense so dangerous, Jeremy?
I mean, they've loaded up on talent. They did good in the getting some major junior players coming through. The biggest thing for them this year is probably Will Horkoff taking another step forward.
Okay.
He's been dynamic. I think he put up 18 points in the month of November. Like, he just has been the biggest thing for them this year. And it fits their style. Brandon Dorado is a great skills coach, great evaluator of offensive talent. That's never been an issue at Michigan. The issue has been, do they have goaltending and do they have a defense on the back end? So fits kind of what they're used to, but also, they're going to play a style that looks for a lot of goals.
Now, Michigan State's offense against Michigan's defense, it's certainly no slouch of a matchup right there, too, because MSU's offense, third in the Big Ten at goals per game, 11th overall in the country, 3.64 goals per game. Now, Michigan's defense, 10th in the nation, 2.11 goals per game here. So who do you think has the edge in that side of this matchup here? The Michigan State scoring side or the Michigan State defending side here? Or, sorry, the Michigan defending side, I should say.
Yeah, I think MSU's offense will be fine. I think this is going to be a type of game that fits their play style and what they want to do. Like, neither team is really going to impose their will on the other of like playing a style they're uncomfortable with, because they both want to play the same style. So,
gotcha.
Michigan State's going to be a little bit more defensive overall than Michigan, but when you compare it to the series where they struggled with Wisconsin, where Wisconsin, every time MSU got the puck to go up ice, there's 4 guys sitting back waiting for you. Like, there's no transition game. Wisconsin was throwing guys to block a ton of shots that weekend. Like, that's not Michigan's game, but they're looking to get out and run too, right? So they don't want to sit back because they can't counter if they sit back. So with that, I think Michigan State's going to be fine offensively. They need to find some of their depth scoring. Like, I think last weekend was good. You started to see some guys further down the lineup be rewarded and get goals. Like, they're generating chances, but they're just not getting goals. Yeah, and it can't be all Porter Martone. So you need a guy like Daniel Russell to get going and help on that line. But guys like Riker Lee to get Quibi and snake bit a little bit, even though he's got, I think, 5 goals. He could easily have 10. Like, it's just, you need guys to start finishing their chances, and they did better about that last weekend. So hopefully that confidence carries over.
So I guess, I got 2 scenarios for you. One is a 7-5 barn burner game. The other one is like a 2-1 slugfest of a game. You probably lean towards more, if anything's going to happen, it's going to be fireworks everywhere and just goals are going to be raining in the net. Or is there a party that could see this low-scoring game happening to start Friday?
Oh, man. I feel like if we get a low-scoring game, it'll be the Saturday game. Like, it'll be after the teams kind of play themselves out Friday night. Like, they just get much more.
Yeah.
I want relaxed is the wrong word, but they feel each other out Friday. They both kind of just come out with a ton of, I guess, usually the first game of this series has the most penalties, has the fireworks, because there's a lot that goes into the first night, and then second night settles in. You're like, okay, this is just another series. Let's finish this out. Let's be a little bit more, more into our systems and everything like that. So I think the offensive game might be Friday night.
So I want to just pull out a few individual players here, but we're going to start on Michigan's side. And this was pointed out, in that piece at thestatenews.com by Audrey Dayton, that Michigan's Will Horcuff. I mean, not only is he averaging a goal per game, that leads the nation. Michigan's played 18 games this season. This guy's got 18 goals. But the nugget that I found is his dad was a captain here at Michigan State. So first part of the question, screw this guy. And the second part is, why is he so dangerous? Is it just simply put like, he's just faster than everyone's got better stick skills, he's always at the right place at the right time? Or why is this Benedict Arnold of a son, Will Horcuff, such a good player?
Yeah, it's really tough with that age group. That his formative years was watching Anastas and Dan Cole hockey. I don't really. Will that
change a person? Will that change a hockey player?
Okay. It might change where you want to go as you think about your recruiting battle. Yeah, the biggest thing with Will has always been like when he was coming up through AAA, like he was the biggest kid. Like he was over 6 foot before everyone else, and his dad is incredibly. Well, he was one of the best, like kind of like Rod Brindamore in a way, another MSU player of just known across the league as he's going to be the most fit guy. Like he lived in the gym, had the best endurance. So and he brought that on Will. Like Will is bigger than Sean was, and he's taller. But on top of that, he just has the best strength of probably anyone that I've seen in like AAA hockey coming up. So, but then he kind of petered out. He went to the national development program and became like a third or fourth line player for them. Really wasn't putting points up. And he enrolled at Michigan mid-season last year, and people were kind of like, why would you leave the program? He doesn't really seem like he's putting up points. And I think what you kind of saw was that he can't play a third or fourth line game. That's not for him. You're not going to get him playing what he needs to do. And now he's playing college hockey, ostensibly a harder level, and he's just lighting it up because he's back on a first or second line every night with a ton of talent around him. So the biggest thing for him is he's not overly quick. He's not super fast, but he is hard to get off the puck. He's he's a big kid. He's got a ton of strength, and he's going to outwork you, and he's got the endurance to do it. So
still more to come with our guy, Jeremy Dewar. But first, guys, hey, FanDuel, they keep NFL Sundays moving because, NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you are reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place live bets as the action unfolds. We're talking every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. And live betting is best when the game starts to shift. Like, hey, a receiver getting hot, a running back starting to carry the rock a little bit better, the defense starts tightening up, or, of course, like what happened in this Lions game tonight, right out of halftime, a momentum-shifting turnover. Guys, FanDuel lets you jump in on the moment. We're talking the live spreads, the money lines, but also live player props. That's right. If you're late to get your props in before the game kicks off, it's not too late with FanDuel. How great is that? So, guys, if you want to be right in the middle of all the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. It's FanDuel. The game moves fast, and so can you. And another player for Michigan, and you mentioned this earlier, is that sometimes goaltending has been an issue for the Wolverines, which is great, ideally. But they've got a guy out there, and I'm going to screw up his last name. I know this. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but his name is Jack. Here we go. Ivankovic.
Perfect. You did it. We'll call it good.
All right, there we go.
Some say Ivankovic, some say Ivankovic. I think you're good.
Jackie I. How about that? Anyway, he's been the goalie for all 18 games. They are not getting this guy any breaks whatsoever, and obviously he's been doing a solid enough job. Now, interestingly enough, again, this is from the State News piece, Porter Martone was teammates with this guy, and Martone called him one of his best friends from the Brampton Steelheads. So who's going to have the upper hand in this matchup between friends? Is it going to be our high-flying scorer over here, Porter Martone, or has Jack been solid enough of a goalie where you think that, okay, maybe this guy is one of the premier guys, not just in the Big Ten, but in the whole country between the pipes?
He's definitely up there. I mean, he's definitely up there as a top 5 to 10 goalie in college hockey, I think.
Okay.
The biggest knock on Jack, similar to Trey, honestly, is that he's a smaller goalie. He's under 6 foot. So that's always been kind of what brought down his NHL potential. The NHL definitely aims for a bigger goalie. 6 foot is kind of a cutoff line. And part of the reason he's at Michigan is one of their ex-goalies, Marty Turco, who had a long NHL career, is very close with Jack because he was also an under 6 foot goalie, and it's been helping him a lot. So Jack's really good. I think Jack's been better than I thought he would, to be honest. When he committed to Michigan, it was definitely an improvement for Michigan. They needed someone better in net. That was a big issue for them. But I kind of thought, he'd come in and be middle of the Big Ten. I didn't think he was going to light the world on fire, and he's been a lot better than I thought. So really good start for him so far. But familiarity, I tend to think like I lean on a shooter over a goalie. If you know more of a goalie and what they can get beat on, it's a lot harder for them to fix than it is to be a goalie and guess this is where Porter likes to shoot. Like now, yeah, he has a breakaway move. You probably know the breakaway move. Like you can shut that down. But in open play, I'll always lean a shooter, knowing a goalie better.
Poor goalies that are under 6 feet. I remember, this is just, personal story time with Matt now. I remember doing a book report in 3rd grade on Mike Richter, the old goalie for the Rangers. And 75% of that story was just how he defeated the odds, how he was such a wee little lad, but he did it. He was 5'11". Yeah. He was a perfectly, if anything, above average height. But my God, if you're anything under 6 feet as a goalie, they treat you like a Kentucky Derby jockey.
And it's crazy. I know. It's only gotten worse now. Like you look at you have guys like for MSU fans, you'll remember the Jeff Fleury versus Ben Bishop game with Maine, and Ben was 6'5" or 6'6". Like it's getting crazy now. Like you have 16-year-old goalies that are 6'3", and you're just like, what are you doing? This is But I will say, in their defense, like Jack is a really good goalie because you can't cheat at 5'11". You can't use your size to be out of position and make a save that you shouldn't have been making because you're just that big. Like he earns every save. So.
All right, so let's get down to it. Michigan State wins this game on opening night. We won't do the whole series. I mean, they win on Friday night. If they do, blank, well, like what's going to have to be the number one key to the game here for our Spartans?
They've got to find their discipline. They have been struggling with that this season. They're one of the most penalized teams in the country. And part of it is, no, like I will say for fans, don't just look at that stat and assume that they're over like they've taken a lot of after the whistle 10-minute things because they tend to run their mouth a little bit, and that'll happen, and that's part of their game. Like it's
a good thing that won't happen during a rivalry. That's awesome. We got just the opponent coming in for this problem. That's good.
That's part of their game. And to be honest, most of the time when you're getting an after whistle call, you're usually going to get the other team taking one too. So you're not giving them a power play. You're just kind of You're playing your game. You're getting under their skin a little bit, and you have a guy that has to sit, but so do they. But like what they've got to avoid is they've had a lot of problems with like. I think it's really refs differently than the major junior leagues. So like Porter Martone has struggled with like some of his hits that he throws are a little high or a little late, and in the OHL they might have just let that go. Or
I see.
You throw one of those and the next time the guy moves the puck, but these guys aren't afraid of it. Like you want to run me late, you can run me late, but I'm going to take the power play. So they've got to find some discipline this weekend. Obviously, like you kind of hinted to too, like. They're going to try and get under your skin. This is going to be a very mouthy series. Both these teams run their mouths a lot. So it's going to be amped up. You got to find your discipline. And because really, like I said, we can go up and down the ice with them, but you get Michigan power plays, you're going to pay for it. Like the MSU penalty kill has been very good this year, but this is not the team to mess around with on that. You got to try and keep this as much 5-on-5 play as possible.
All right, to end this, I got two questions. It's a similar question, but let's go on opposite sides here. The first one, because I want to end this on a positive note. Let's say that MSU, it doesn't work out. They go 0-2 in the series this weekend. What's an appropriate reaction to have? Is it maybe worry about the long-term prognosis? Is the Big Ten already in danger if you want to win this thing for a third straight year? What's like an appropriate reaction if things don't go the Spartans' way here?
I mean, it definitely puts the Big Ten regular season a little bit in danger. You do have 2 games in hand over Michigan, though. Like MSU's played less, so at the end of the day, it kind of sets up for the second half of the season being like we got to sweep a lot, and you probably got to try and when you play them at their house and in Detroit, go and even the season series up with them because I think it puts you into that situation because I think if you don't even the season series with them, it's going to be hard to win the league. Because I don't see them dropping a ton of games around the league. Like I just don't think anyone besides MSU is really in danger of sweeping them. So, it definitely puts that in air in the big picture though. Like to me, it's just such a weird season this year. Like you've won back-to-back Big Ten titles, but you've messed up in the NCAAs. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really let that hang over your head too much. Obviously, you want to hang every banner you can, but this whole season rests on NCAAs, and being swept by Michigan puts that not at risk at all. So I think, it's just like, hey, learn from it, come back from it. But big picture-wise, the main goal is unaffected by it.
Yeah. Now let's swing to the other side of this. Let's say Michigan State, they win like 8-1 and then come back, they win 3-1. They just sweep those Wolverines. Now, other than driving up to Yost and then spray painting the word Nightingale over it, what's an appropriate sound reaction to have as a Michigan State fan? Or is it thing you're saying hey, Big Ten banner, awesome, that's great, but let's not kid ourselves here. Everything is all on this NCAA postseason. It's an odd spot to be in, but what would an appropriate response be in the moment, Jeremy?
I mean, you definitely spray paint. That's
you have to, I think, right?
You have to.
If you're a program worth it, salt, you do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and also even with a team like Michigan missing the tournament last year, you went 2-2 against them last year, so a sweep would be huge. That's a pretty big first step, and it probably puts you in the driver's seat for the Big Ten. Absolutely. Still have a big return trip to Wisconsin after they swept you here, but it kind of makes the second half of the season look like that Penn State, Wisconsin, and Michigan series will decide what happens as far as banners go. But yeah, at the end of the day, no, it still means you got to get to the NCAA. You got to find a way in playoff hockey when it's not going to be so open-ended like this weekend will be, to win 2 games in a weekend. So, yeah, it's kind of hard. I enjoy every sweep. The Penn State series was extremely satisfying.
Sure.
This one would be extremely satisfying, but at the end of the day, still looking ahead to March and April. So
I know that's like I don't know the word to call it, which I should know a word. I talk for a living. It's not awkward. It's not like uncomfortable. It's just like inevitable that everything is building up for the postseason. But hey, we'll enjoy everything along the way, somewhat at least. Like hopefully sweeping this number 1 ranked Michigan team. Guys, that's Jeremy Dewar over at Spartans Illustrated. You will be reading his preview very soon if you care about yourself and want to be more informed about this series coming up. Jeremy, take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your week. It's not like anything's busy going on over in your neck of the woods or anything, so that's good. But guys, until next time, and there will be a next time because, we're talking with Locked On Blue Devils to get a preview of this top 10 basketball matchup on Saturday. But until then, take care of yourselves. Love you all. Go Green.